Part 4. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wu Nian. Chapter 31. Chen Mu went to meet the group of killer whales. There were only 13 killer whales in this group, 9 of which were adults and the other 4 were cubs. Seeing Chen Mu, the leader killer whale said, "You are here, where is it?" Chen Mu looked at the group of killer whales stranded on the beach and said, "It's up there." The female killer whale, as the leader, took a look and said, "Are they all stranded?" Chen Mu nodded. The female killer whale said, "So many killer whales are stranded. If we go up, we will probably be stranded too. We can't go up anymore." Hearing this, Chen Mu glanced at the killer whale. It seems that the leader still has some brains. As the leaders of the killer whale group, they are all female killer whales of a certain age. They have a lot of experience, otherwise they would not live that long. Chen Mu said, "Leader, I have a way to save them." When the leader killer whale heard this, he subconsciously looked at Chen Mu. "What method?" Chen Mu said, "I need you to gather the nearby killer whales, and then bring a large number of killer whales, just like we attack seals, to create waves, and then let the waves rush towards them, so that they can leave." The leader killer whale said, "I don't know if your method will work, but this is the only way at present." As it said, it made a sound. The high-frequency sound has completely exceeded the decibel that humans can hear. It called the nearby killer whales. As time went by, Chen Mu saw through his conscious vision that groups of killer whales began to gather. It didn't take long. Chen Mu was shocked to see that a group of killer whales with hundreds of killer whales appeared in front of him. It seems that there are many killer whale groups gathered nearby. The number of killer whale groups varies, with a small number of mothers and children, and a large number of thousands. This is Antarctica, a gathering place for killer whales. It is not surprising that there are many killer whales. The leader killer whale of the killer whale group where Chen Mu is located made a sound unique to killer whales. Of course, to humans, it is a special tone, some of which cannot even be captured by human ears. As a killer whale, Chen Mu watched the leader killer whale discuss with the killer whales that came to discuss how to create waves to impact the killer whales in the ocean and save them. The other killer whales that came were a little confused. Is this okay? Will so many killer whales create waves together to hurt the killer whales on the shore? There are members of my family in it. Yes, my mother is over there, woo woo. But we have no other way. If we continue to let our companions go up, our companions will continue to be stranded. Either let them die on it, or we can only try that method, the leader killer whale said. Hearing this, the other killer whales had no choice. In this way, the killer whales began to divide the work tacitly, and hundreds of killer whales lined up tacitly. Then they swam together quickly. Due to the large number of killer whales, the waves they created were huge. As the killer whales' huge bodies swept out of the sea and then sank, the waves created by hundreds of killer whales were 2 meters high. The waves roared and hit the offshore coast in front. Bang! As the waves hit the coast, the crazy waves rushed directly to the shore and swallowed the stranded killer whales. The killer whales took advantage of the rising waves, flapped their fins and tails, and swam back to the sea. All of a sudden, the stranded killer whales returned to the sea. Success! It can actually be like this. The killer whales saw the scene and made excited sounds one by one. To humans, you can hear the killer whales chirping and making a lot of noise. As a killer whale, Chen Mu heard the excited cheers of the killer whales. Creating a wave obviously saved many killer whales, but it was obviously not enough. Everyone, do it again. As the order was issued, the killer whales cooperated tacitly again, and another wave hit the coast. The remaining killer whales took advantage of the waves and returned to the sea. All the stranded killer whales left at once. Chen Mu was on the side, looking at the killer whales through his consciousness. He fell into thought. There are so many killer whales. If I devour all of them, I can probably evolve into the next creature right away. It's a pity that the ability of the race to eat the same thing limits this, of course, let alone my current body. Even if it is the body of the great white shark at its peak, it will have to run away when it encounters so many killer whales. It's troublesome, I can only take it slowly. Chen Mu muttered in his heart. Chen Mu came back to his senses, and when he came back to his senses, Chen Mu found a group of killer whales surrounding him. The killer whale's eyes were excited. Chen Mu was stunned. What happened? Did I let the cat out of the bag when I was muttering just now? It was it that suggested that we use the waves to help the killer whales out of trouble, the leader killer whale said on the side. Hearing this, Chen Mu immediately had a bad feeling. So smart. So cute, such a small cub, is it so smart? It's amazing, you saved my mother, I will remember you forever. If you need anything, call me, I will be there immediately. You saved my child, just call me in the future, as long as I am nearby, no matter what, I will come to help you. You saved my people, call me if you need anything. So smart, I will remember you. If you need anything, you must call me. Groups of killer whales surrounded him, chattering one after another. The enthusiasm made Chen Mu feel a headache. Chen Mu said, okay, okay, okay. After a long time of perfunctory, the killer whales finally left slowly. Chen Mu looked at the killer whales leaving and he breathed a sigh of relief. This is too exaggerated. Isn't it just using the killer whale's wave-making technology to call a few killer whales? Killer whales are very sentimental creatures. If their companions are hurt, they will seek revenge even if they die. If their companions are rescued, they will regard the person who rescued their companions as a benefactor and remember them forever. There was a captive killer whale that was released for 5 years and met its keeper again. As soon as they met, it immediately recognized the keeper and never forgot him. Although Chen Mu only proposed to use killer whales to make waves to attack seals in order to avoid slowing down his acquisition of evolutionary energy, so that they could make big waves to save killer whales. But for the killer whales, Chen Mu's action was equivalent to saving their fellow tribesmen. They were extremely grateful to Chen Mu. I never thought that you were so smart at such a young age. The elder sister killer whale came over. Chen Mu said, it's okay. Hee, it seems that my offshore hunting skills are not so mature yet. The elder sister killer whale said, next time I learn it, I will teach you. I can teach you other things. Chen Mu said, don't, I'm hungry. Don't teach me for now. I want to eat. The elder sister killer whale heard it and said, okay. Wait a minute. Seeing that the elder sister killer whale was about to leave, Chen Mu hurriedly stopped her. The elder sister killer whale looked at Chen Mu, what's wrong? Chen Mu said, I want to eat blue whale meat. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 32. A group of killer whales have been here for so long, they must be hungry. If they are hungry, they naturally have to eat. To eat, they have to hunt. For Chen Mu, the bigger the prey, the better. The blue whale, the world's largest marine creature, is naturally the first choice. Moreover, the blue whale is already on the killer whale's food list. As one of the killer whales, Chen Mu's request is naturally nothing. The elder sister killer whale said, as for the blue whale, the two of us can't catch it. Let's go ask my grandma. Grandma, Chen Mu was stunned. The elder sister killer whale swam and looked at Chen Mu, didn't I tell you? The leader of the killer whale group we are in is my grandma, and most of this killer whale group are members of the same family. Killer whales have a very strong sense of family, especially mother and son and mother and daughter, who will almost never be separated from each other for a lifetime. Generally, most of the members of a killer whale group are members of the same family. Grandma is its grandmother. This is not surprising, and Chen Mu is too lazy to think about it. The elder sister blue whale swam closer to the leader killer whale and said, "Grandma, he's hungry and wants to eat blue whale meat." The elderly female killer whale looked at Chen Mu and said, "It's time to eat, but blue whales are not always available." It looked at Chen Mu, "Besides blue whales, do you want to eat anything else?" According to it, it is very likely that it has used echolocation to detect the prey situation nearby, and it is estimated that there are no suitable blue whales nearby. Chen Mu said, "I want to eat large whales." The leader killer whale said, "This is easy. There are many large whales nearby. There is a pair of humpback whales closest to us, and there is a humpback whale calf inside, which is just right for our food." Speaking of this, it looked at Chen Mu, "What do you think?" Chen Mu's eyes lit up slightly, "Okay." The leader killer whale nodded, "I will gather the killer whale group and start hunting." As it said, it began to call other killer whales to gather with its voice. Not long after, a terrifying group of 26 killer whales once again passed over the sea, and under the leadership of the leader killer whale, they flew towards the humpback whale. Humpback whales, those guys are very annoying. However, their tongues are quite delicious. The sister killer whale swam and looked at Chen Mu, "Right." Chen Mu perfunctorily responded, "Yes, yes, yes." Humpback whales are a very annoying creature for killer whales. Humpback whales are very sensitive to the sounds of killer whales. As long as they hear the sound of killer whales hunting, no matter how far away from the place of the accident, humpback whales will rush there quickly. Then protect the prey and drive away the killer whales. The reason why this happened, scientists speculate, is that killer whales often attack humpback whale calves, so humpback whales regard killer whales as enemies. This is what led to the altruistic phenomenon of humpback whales, protecting other creatures that have almost nothing to do with them. It feels like humpback whales are just to piss off killer whales. So, killer whales hate humpback whales. Along the way, the killer whales were chattering, especially the female adult killer whale next to them, who was mumbling. The talkative nature of killer whales made Chen Mu, who was more introverted, a little overwhelmed. After being tortured by this group of chatterboxes all the way, Chen Mu finally saw the target, this time through his consciousness. A giant humpback whale with a body length of 16 meters was carrying a humpback whale calf with a body length of 8 meters. As the killer whale group approached, the two humpback whales obviously discovered the killer whale group. The leader killer whale said, "Hurry." The killer whale group set off tacitly and swam with the two humpback whales. Some followed behind the adult humpback whales, and some followed behind the calf. The two humpback whales became a little panicked in the face of so many killer whales. Once panicked, they all sped up. Obviously, the speed of the adult humpback whale was a little faster than that of the calf. Chen Mu followed the killer whale group and watched the hunt quietly. The division of labor among these killer whales is very clear. Some of them drive away the adult humpback whales, and some of them follow the humpback whale calves. Because the speeds of adult humpback whales and humpback whale calves are different, driven by killer whales. The adult humpback whales dare not look back at all, and can only swim forward desperately, while the humpback whale calves also try their best to catch up. But because of panic, the speeds of the two are different, so the distance between the two is getting longer and longer. Finally, the killer whales that followed the humpback whale calves attacked the humpback whale calves. The killer whale's attack is very simple, that is, collision and biting. Some killer whales bite the humpback whale calves' fins and pull the humpback whale calves into the sea. Under Chen Mu's gaze, some killer whales jumped out of the sea and jumped directly onto the humpback whale calves. With the help of the huge weight of several killer whales, the humpback whale calves were forced to the bottom of the sea. The humpback whale calves struggled desperately and wailed. But because the breathing hole on the top of its head was blocked, its struggle gradually became weaker as time went by. Chen Mu watched this scene quietly. The humpback whale calf, with the cooperation of the killer whales, was completely unable to breathe. It drowned in the sea water. The adult humpback whale was driven away by the killer whales and could not help the humpback whale calf at all. The humpback whale calf turned upside down and was dead. "It's okay," the elder sister killer whale slowly swam to Chen Mu's side and said with a smile, "Let's go, let's eat." Chen Mu nodded. Swimming around, he moved closer. The killer whales swam around and didn't eat, but chose to wait for Chen Mu to eat first. Seeing this, Chen Mu looked at the elder sister killer whale. The elder sister killer whale said, "You performed very well today, so I let you eat first, and then you can talk after you are full." "Yes, you should eat first. Eat quickly." The other killer whales beside him also said. Hearing this, Chen Mu could only move over and start eating. Although the humpback whale calf is a calf, its tongue is not small, and it weighs several tons. Chen Mu is small in size, and he felt full after eating little. After Chen Mu was full, he swam out, and the other killer whales followed and began to eat. However, Chen Mu found that these killer whales were eating the tongue of the calf, and did not eat the other meat of the calf at all. Seeing this, Chen Mu was depressed. Why? They didn't eat the whole humpback whale calf, that would be a waste, right? How can I quickly gain evolutionary energy in this way? With a puzzled attitude, Chen Mu came to the elder sister killer whale. "Why don't you eat meat, but only the tongue?" When the elder sister killer whale heard it, it said, "Because it doesn't taste good. The skin of the humpback whale is so hard and so thick, we are afraid of hurting our teeth." Hearing this, Chen Mu couldn't help blinking his eyes. Killer whales belong to dolphins and mammals. They don't have teeth like great white sharks. Simply put, the teeth of killer whales are the same as those of humans. They will only change their teeth once, and after changing, they will never change their teeth again in this life. For things like humpback whales, the skin is thicker than the tires of a car. Forcibly biting through the skin and eating the meat, it is estimated that no matter how many killer whales' teeth are, it will not be enough to suffer. So killer whales like to eat something softer and easier to eat. Chen Mu didn't know because he had eaten humpback whales before, and when he ate humpback whales, he ate them as great white sharks. At that time, he only felt that it was hard to bite, but he could still bite it, and he was not afraid of breaking his teeth at that time. But, Chen Mu looked at the huge whale meat in front of him. This thing only eats the tongue, which can only be said to be too wasteful. This won't work. We have to find a way. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 33. We have to find a way. But the question is, what method should be used? By the way, a humpback whale is so big, is it possible to get into the belly of a humpback whale and eat? If you eat it this way, the skin will not be so hard. Chen Mu was thinking, but his head felt dizzy again. He came to his senses and realized that it had been a while since he had emerged from the ocean to breathe. Thinking of this, Chen Mu moved his body, went up to the sea, and took a breath. Suddenly, Chen Mu realized something again. What they hunted was a humpback whale calf with a small mouth. The only killer whale that could fit into its mouth was a killer whale calf. And if you get in, you forget to take the time to get out for air. Wouldn't that mean he would die in the belly of a humpback whale? Thinking of this, Chen Mu suddenly had a headache. It seems that hunting humpback whales is not a suitable food for the killer whale group. After thinking for a while, Chen Mu really couldn't think of any way and could only choose to give up letting the killer whales eat. There is no other choice. In this case, the only choice is to wait for the killer whales to leave and then devour them themselves. Although the ability of racial feeding can quickly help Chenmu accumulate evolutionary energy through the mouths of other killer whales, if there is no way to let them eat, then he can only choose to do it himself. The humpback whale's tongue was eaten. After the group of killer whales finished eating, they left to their own devices. After some distance from the humpback whale calf, Chenmu looked at his sister orca beside him. This guy was assigned to Chenmu by the killer whale family. He was responsible for Chenmu's safety and taught Chenmu killer whale hunting techniques. This guy won't leave Chenmu's side for a while. If you want to leave the pod of killer whales and eat that humpback whale calf, you have to get rid of this thing. Have you grown up a little? Sister orca turned around Chenmu. Nonsense. The energy of millions of herrings fed by the same race was all converted into Chenmu's evolutionary energy. If it weren't for the fact that his evolution level into a killer whale this time was a bit high, resulting in little change in body shape, he would not have known how long he would have grown. Much bigger. The current Chenmu, due to the limitation of too many evolutions, has obtained the evolutionary energy brought by millions of herrings and the tongues of humpback whale calves. But even so, Chenmu's body size has grown a lot bigger than before, and is now nearly 4 meters long. Chenmu said, "It is easy to grow up when you are young." Yeah, that's right. Sister orca didn't pay much attention at all. Many little guys have grown bigger than me after we haven't seen each other for a while. Isn't it strange that you are growing up so fast? Killer whales are generally very smart, but Chenmu always feels that this guy's IQ is a bit average. However, it's not surprising that humans are so smart, but there are also fools. It shouldn't be difficult to get this thing. Chenmu thought for a moment. I want to tell you a secret. Can you come with me? When the sister killer whale heard this, it immediately started swimming excitedly and looked at Chenmu with great energy. What secret? Come on, tell me, I like to hear secrets the most. Chenmu moved his body, left the group of killer whales, and swam towards the direction of the humpback whale calf with his sister orca. Do you want to go back? Sister killer whale said. Chenmu hummed, yes. As time passed, Chenmu returned to the vicinity of the humpback whale calf. But the scene in front of him immediately stunned Chenmu. I saw the adult humpback whale swimming around the carcass of the calf. It made a mournful sound. It didn't want to leave for a long time. Killer whales rarely hunt adult humpback whales that are too large. When they encounter a mother and a child, they will target the calves. Choose to drive away adult humpback whales and then attack calves. When there is only one adult humpback whale, it will also be afraid of killer whales, and naturally it will not dare to protect the calf after the calf dies. Many adult humpback whales will surround their young and be reluctant to leave for a long time. When the killer whales were eating the humpback whale calves, the adult humpback whale watched helplessly from a distance. But now it could only watch helplessly as its cub screamed. However, this is also the law of nature, the weak eats the strong. This is the rule of survival. You can't let yourself starve to death just because you look pitiful. Chenmu watched this scene. He looked at the adult female killer whale beside him and said, I plan to eat all the meat of that humpback whale calf. Do you think I can do it? When the sister killer whale heard this, she said, don't mess around. That humpback whale is angry now. If you go over, you will be attacked. With your small body, if you are hit by it and its tail fin, you will be hit by it will die. Chenmu said, so, I want to tell you a secret. I can disguise myself as other creatures. The adult female killer whale was stunned and looked at Chenmu, huh? It looked puzzled. This adult female killer whale obviously didn't understand what Chenmu meant. Under its gaze, Chenmu's body turned into a bottlenose dolphin. Seeing Chenmu's sudden change, the adult female killer whale's eyes widened. After Chenmu turned into a dolphin, he couldn't communicate with the killer whale, so he turned back into a killer whale, then looked at the astonished adult female killer whale and said, see, right? This is disguise. My sister, the killer whale, looked at Chen Mu in disbelief. Are you a bottlenose dolphin or a killer whale? Chen Mu rolled his eyes and said, what do you think? That's just a disguise. If I were a bottlenose dolphin, do you think I could talk to you? Oh, that's right, sister killer whale suddenly realized it, and smiled and said, that's great, this ability, what are you going to do next? Chen Mu looked at sister killer whale and said, wait here, stay away from that humpback whale, I'm still a little hungry, I'm going to go over to eat. Don't get close, I don't want to run out to save you. Sister killer whale said disdainfully, are you kidding? I need you to save me. It's just. It stared at Chen Mu with some concern, that humpback whale is very angry now, it's too dangerous for you to go over there. Chen Mu said, just stay here, don't cause me any trouble. Tisk. Chen Mu's body turned into a dolphin and rushed over at a very fast speed. The humpback whale is very slow, and the dolphin is very fast. Add to that the double speed of Chen Mu's system. Before the adult humpback whale could come to its senses, Chen Mu had already rushed into the belly of the humpback whale calf. After entering the belly of the humpback whale calf, Chen Mu used the body of the humpback whale calf to cover himself and turned into a great white shark. Great white sharks are real fish and do not need to go to the surface to breathe. After turning into a great white shark, Chen Mu began to devour the body of the humpback whale calf from the inside. Ah! The adult humpback whale outside made an angry sound. Seeing a great white shark eating the body of its child, it was extremely angry, but there was nothing it could do because Chen Mu had already drilled into the body of the humpback whale calf. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 34. Chen Mu tore the meat in front of him, devouring it as he tore. The adult humpback whale outside was crying loudly, and there was a strong anger inside. It swam around the body of the humpback whale calf, and seemed very impatient. But it didn't dare to touch the body of the humpback whale calf, as if it was afraid of being hurt by the body of the calf. Chen Mu basically emptied the body of the humpback whale calf, and he turned around and ran out. As soon as he ran out, Chen Mu only felt a sense of pressure from the water flow, and he looked. He could see that the adult humpback whale slapped its tail towards Chen Mu. Chen Mu's body instantly turned into a sailfish. The speed increased instantly, and he avoided the attack of the adult humpback whale in the blink of an eye. Sailfish are the swimming champions in the ocean, and they are the fastest. Coupled with the speed blessing of the system, the speed doubled. It is basically impossible to attack Chen Mu. After Chen Mu dodged, he swept away. The adult female killer whale in the distance was swimming, looking at this side. Seeing Chen Mu coming towards her, her eyes were full of surprise. After Chen Mu pulled away from the adult humpback whale, he instantly turned back into a killer whale. He said, "Run away, do you want to die?" The sister killer whale came to her senses. Oh! The two killer whales immediately went into escape mode. Behind them, an extremely angry adult humpback whale was chasing them frantically. Of course, this was useless. The speed of the humpback whale was much slower than that of the killer whale. It was impossible to catch up. The sister killer whale next to him looked at Chen Mu. "You seem to have grown a lot." Chen Mu was slightly startled, and he looked at himself through his conscious vision. After devouring most of the flesh and blood of the humpback whale calf, his body grew a full circle again. Now Chen Mu's body length has exceeded 4 meters. Chen Mu said, "I'm special. The meat I eat will make me grow big very quickly." The elder sister killer whale's eyes lit up, staring at Chen Mu with great interest, and said, "It's really special." Chen Mu hummed. Suddenly, Chen Mu heard a sound. That was the sound of a sailboat. Chen Mu subconsciously looked at the source of the sound. He could see a sailboat moving slowly. In front of the sailboat, there were two people standing. A man and a woman. The man was holding a camera facing this side, and the woman was looking at this side. "It's a two-legged ape," the elder sister killer whale said. Two-legged ape, Chenmu was startled, and he looked at the adult female killer whale next to him. The elder sister killer whale said, "Well, I'm very familiar with them, you watch." As she said that, she swam her body and approached the sailboat. The blonde woman, who looked to be nearly 40 years old, was excited when she saw the killer whale approaching, raised her hand and reached into the sea. After the elder sister killer whale approached, she stroked the killer whale's body with her hand. While enjoying the caress of the two-legged ape, the elder sister killer whale said to Chenmu, "Look, are they very friendly to us?" "I'll tell you," it said, "I was stranded before, and it was these that saved me, otherwise I would have died at that time." Chenmu fell into silence. Yes, with the intelligence of this killer whale, stranding is probably a common occurrence. If there is no help from humans, it is estimated that it will die directly. Now Chenmu realized that in the eyes of killer whales, humans are so friendly. "Yes, just touch there, it's a little itchy, help me scratch it, haha," looking at the adult female killer whale, swimming around, enjoying the caress of humans, like a child. It made Chenmu feel a headache. As a former human, Chenmu naturally knew the dangers of humans. However, humans will help stranded killer whales return to the sea. For many killer whales, humans are a friendly and good creature. Some killer whales will take the initiative to contact humans after seeing humans in the wild. For humans, killer whales are black and white, just like giant pandas in the sea, very cute. So killer whales are also very popular. But even now that killer whales are fully protected, there are still some places that eat killer whales as food. Killer whales' attitude towards humans is actually very strange. There are records that after humans captured killer whale children, killer whales did not dare to attack humans at all. They only dared to beg for humans to release their children. You know, for killer whales, family is everything. If a companion is hurt, then the creature that hurts it must pay the price anyway, not to mention the child. Killer whales have a name called killer whales. In fact, this is a translation problem. The normal translation name is killer whales. There are almost no records of killer whales attacking humans in the wild. The only attack records are in zoos, where killer whales that have been kept in captivity for a long time by humans and have become mentally abnormal have hurt humans. Even if it is replaced by humans, it is estimated that it is difficult not to go crazy if they are locked up in a small place for a lifetime. Chenmu thought about what he had heard about the attitude of killer whales towards humans when he was a human. For a moment, Chenmu became interested. The silly killer whale had had enough fun and swam over here. It smiled and said, "Don't you want to play with them? They are very interesting and friendly to us, not afraid of getting hurt." Chenmu thought for a while and said, "Are they delicious?" When the killer whale heard this, its eyes widened. It swam around and said, "No, you can't have such thoughts. If other killer whales hear such thoughts, they will kill you. In our case in the family, many killer whales have been helped by these two-legged apes, and although these two-legged apes are friendly to us, they are very scary creatures. When I was born, my grandma and grandma both told me not to mess with these two-legged apes no matter what." Chenmu said with great interest, "Why can't you provoke them? Are they very powerful?" The killer whale said, "They are very, very powerful. Do you know those humpback whales and blue whales? Those adult humpback whales and adult blue whales are very dangerous. If our numbers are small, we will have to run away when we encounter them. These two-legged apes can easily kill adult humpback whales using strange things. They are very powerful. I also heard from my grandma that in the stories passed down from our family, these two-legged apes are super scary. No matter what, don't mess with them." The adult female killer whale said to Chenmu earnestly, "Remember, no matter what, do not provoke these two-legged apes. This is very, very important. After it finished speaking, it turned around and left. Chen Mu looked at the back of the adult female killer whale and said, "Then, if your child is captured by them, won't you offend him?" It was startled slightly, swam its body, and turned back to look at Chen Mu. It said, "My grandma said that if we attack them, it will lead to a devastating disaster for our entire family. If my child is really caught, I can only pray that they can let my child go. But, probably not. You see, they are so friendly to us, and they rescue us and don't let us get stranded. They are good," the adult female killer whale said casually, and then swam away. As he walked, he said, "Let's go, I'll teach you how to hunt. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first." Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 35. Hearing this, Chen Mu understood. Orcas have complex social relationships. They also have their own language. Through language communication, the older generation will pass on their accumulated experience to the next generation through language. Orcas are like a low-level civilization. In their eyes, humans are undoubtedly a high-level civilization. Therefore, in order to avoid a devastating blow to their own civilization, the older generation of orcas will pass on the horror of humans to the next generation through language. Therefore, orcas are in awe of humans. Even when their children are taken away, they have to consider the survival of their families and have to compromise. Of course, when humans show a friendly side to orcas, they will naturally be happy to accept the kindness of high-level civilizations. Unknowingly, it was already night. Chen Mu was a little tired and fell asleep unconsciously. However, his sleeping method is different from that of humans. The sleeping method of orcas is the same as that of bottlenose dolphins. Their two brains can take turns to rest and work. When orcas sleep, the orca group stays together. Killer whales will be alert to the movements around them and protect the safety of the killer whale group. In this way, Chen Mu began to live in this killer whale group. Occasionally, he learned some hunting skills from his sister killer whale. When he was hungry, he followed the killer whale group to hunt large schools of fish or other things. Time passed day by day. Chen Mu's evolutionary energy increased little by little with the passage of time. It is estimated that half a year has passed. Today I will show you a unique skill. Look, I'm dead. The sister killer whale turned over, and the whole killer whale turned upside down and floated on the sea. Chen Mu watched from the side, a little stunned for a while. What is this guy doing? At this time, Chen Mu saw the seagulls that were circling overhead and looking for food. Suddenly, they fell from the sky, flying towards the position of the sister killer whale. Obviously, they thought that this stupid adult female killer whale was dead, so they came to eat the corpse. Just as they approached, wow, sister killer whale suddenly turned over, jumped up in an instant, and bit a seabird in her mouth. It held the seabird in its mouth and came to Chen Mu, saying, "How is it? Awesome, right? Do you want to try it?" Chen Mu's mouth twitched. This guy is really convinced. Killer whales prefer foods with a lot of fat, and are not interested in some killer whales with less fat, but sometimes killer whales will consider changing their taste and eating seabirds. Some killer whales sometimes turn up their bellies, pretend to be corpses, lure seabirds to approach, and then pounce directly and eat the seabirds. This hunting technique is obviously impossible without a certain IQ. But for Chen Mu, in order to hunt such a seabird with no meat at all, this hunting method is simply a waste of time. Chen Mu said, "Don't learn. You are so picky, you don't even learn this. This is very powerful," sister killer whale muttered. "Then eat it?" "No." "Okay." Sister killer whale swallowed the seabird into her stomach helplessly. It swam and looked at Chen Mu, "But now look at you again, it's great, little guy grows fast. It hasn't been long, and you've grown bigger than my grandma." During this period, Chen Mu just ate with others every day and hardly paid attention to his body size. Now hearing the words of the elder sister killer whale, Chen Mu subconsciously looked at himself. Through the conscious vision, a giant killer whale with a body size of 12 meters appeared in Chen Mu's vision. This body size has exceeded the size of a normal killer whale. When did I become so big? The elder sister killer whale said, "You have been growing up during this period, haven't you noticed?" "I didn't notice, I haven't paid much attention to my body size recently, and it looks a lot bigger," Chen Mu muttered. Just then, a voice that had not appeared for a long time sounded in Chen Mu's mind. "The current evolution energy progress is 100%, start evolving." Hearing this, Chen Mu was shocked. Finally 100%. After Chen Mu became a killer whale, he stayed in the killer whale group for a long time. He was so absent that even he was a little dazed. Now he can finally evolve into another creature. All of a sudden, Chen Mu was excited. As the voice fell, a golden light enveloped Chen Mu's whole body. Ah, sister killer whale's eyes widened when she saw this scene. There was confusion in her eyes. Golden light covered Chen Mu's body. Not long after, Chen Mu came back to his senses. After coming back to his senses, Chen Mu found that there were many more killer whales around him, and they were circling around Chen Mu. Chen Mu knew every one of these killer whales. Just as humans can recognize humans by facial features, Chen Mu, as a killer whale before, can also recognize killer whales by their facial features. This group of killer whales is the killer whale group that has accompanied Chen Mu for half a year. However, now these killer whales are staring at him with strange eyes. Chen Mu subconsciously looked at himself now. At a glance, Chen Mu's pupils condensed slightly. Is this blue whale? Chen Mu's body size shrank from a full 12 meters to 7 meters, but his shape changed completely. At this moment, Chen Mu changed from a killer whale to a blue whale. The blue whale is the largest creature in the world. The average size of a blue whale calf is 7 meters long when it is born, and it is estimated to weigh 2 meters. And now Chen Mu is equivalent to a newborn blue whale. And the blue whale calf is the food of the killer whale group. No wonder the killer whales next to him look at him so strangely. As a blue whale, there is no way to communicate with killer whales. In order to prevent being killed by the killer whale group, Chen Mu chose to use his transformation ability and changed from a blue whale back to a killer whale. Seeing Chen Mu turned back into a killer whale. "Look, I told you, it's it." When the sister killer whale saw Chen Mu turned back, it swam and said to the other killer whales, "It's not a blue whale, it's very special, it can disguise itself as various creatures, I saw it turn into a bottlenose dolphin before. This time it's just disguised as a blue whale. It's really it can also turn into a blue whale, it's really interesting. So amazing, how did you do it?" The killer whales cast curious eyes at Chen Mu one by one. Fortunately, the sister killer whale helped Chen Mu explain, which saved Chen Mu from saying anything more. Chen Mu said, "This is a unique ability acquired after birth. It cannot be taught to others. I don't know what's going on." There are two choices before Chen Mu. One is to continue to follow the killer whale group, so that he can use the power of the killer whale group to continue to grow in size. The second is to leave the killer whale group and go hunting elsewhere. After all, although Chen Mu has evolved into a blue whale, an adult blue whale is almost invincible except for humans, but the size of Chen Mu is only the same as that of a newborn blue whale. If there is no protection from the killer whale group, it is estimated that GG will occur at any time. What to do? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wu Nian. Chapter 36. When Chen Mu was considering whether to follow the killer whales and continue crossing the sea, a familiar voice sounded in his ears. Congratulations on your successful evolution and gaining the ability to suck whales. Chen Mu was slightly startled. Whale suck. Whale sucking can help you suck all creatures smaller than you within 100 meters in the direction of your vision directly in front of you and into your mouth. Chen Mu's eyes lit up. This ability is somewhat similar to the control ability, but the difference is that the control ability can only control one creature, while this ability is scope specific. In other words, as long as it is smaller than yourself, it will become your own food. The main food of blue whales is krill. Moreover, the number of krill is extremely large and the density is extremely high. If combined with this whale sucking ability, wouldn't the energy gained from one mouthful be comparable to that of a whale calf? Wouldn't that turn the world upside down? It can be said that it is perfect, extremely perfect. In other words, if you have this ability, you can hunt much faster than a group of killer whales. Chen Mu decided it was time to break away from the group of killer whales. The killer whales were all chirping and lamenting how special Chen Mu was. Chen Mu moved his body and quietly left the group of killer whales. Hey, where are you going? A voice sounded from behind. Chen Mu looked back and saw that the adult female killer whale that had been following him was swimming towards him. Chen Mu said, I plan to go out for a walk by myself. Oh, then I'll go with you. With your current size, it's not safe to be alone. Sister Orca is responsible for protecting Chen Mu's safety. Seeing that Chen Mu wants to go alone, it is naturally uneasy. Chen Mu said, no, I'm leaving this time. Maybe we won't see each other again for a long time. Let's meet again when we have a chance. Sister Orca was slightly startled. You. Chen Mu didn't bother to do anything. His body turned into a swordfish and left at an extremely terrifying speed. Sister Orca hurriedly chased after her. In just an instant, Chen Mu's figure disappeared. Watching Chen Mu's disappearing figure, the female killer whale stared blankly. Killer whales are very emotional creatures. There once was a killer whale. He was captured and kept in captivity by humans when he was a child, and developed feelings for humans during the process of captivity. Later, due to the small environment and unsuitable temperature, many humans protested against keeping it in captivity and demanded that it be released into the wild. With the help of those humans and a series of scientists' help and training, it regained the ability to live in the wild and return to nature, joining one of the killer whale families. But after living in the wild for a period of time, it would still often go to the beach, play with humans, and even let humans step on its back. Humans are worried that this will affect its progress in adapting to nature, and they are prohibited from playing with it. Eventually it died in the wild. After examination, it was found that it died of pneumonia. After analysis, inferences are drawn. It is because it is used to living with humans and living outside. Because it has never seen humans, it leads to anxiety. As the pressure increases, it leads to pneumonia and eventually death. Killer whales have extremely rich emotions. Even if they are different species, they will still have emotions after living for a long time. The female killer whale who was responsible for teaching Chen Mu how to hunt and protecting Chen Mu's safety, in her eyes, Chen Mu was like her child. For it already has the same relationship as mother and son with Chen Mu. Seeing Chen Mu leave, it was naturally extremely reluctant to leave. Chen Mu had already left and did not notice the killer whale's demeanor. After leaving some distance, Chen Mu's body turned into the shape of a blue whale. As soon as he turned into a blue whale, Chen Mu suddenly felt hungry. While feeling hungry, Chen Mu had a memory that did not belong to him. That is a memory unique to blue whales. Great white sharks mostly rely on their sensitivity to electromagnetic fields to find prey, while blue whales rely on their inherited memories to find prey. These memories tell the blue whale where its food is. The main food of blue whales is krill. In the blue whale's memory, There are information about the location and route of krill in various seasons. Chen Mu now has a memory, which is the blue whale's memory of the location of the food. This blue whale's memory is really convenient, Chen Mu muttered, and then swam his 2-density body in the direction of the krill recorded in his memory. As the group of killer whales left, Chen Mu suddenly felt relaxed. Chen Mu felt uncomfortable all over when he was in a group of killer whales. Now that I'm away and alone, I feel much more comfortable. Blue whales are different from killer whales. Killer whales belong to the order Cetaceans and the family Delphinidae. The blue whale also belongs to the order Cetacea, but it is different. Blue whales generally move alone, with no more than 2 at most. Blue whales only gather when they eat together. Therefore, when Chen Mu, who is a blue whale, is surrounded by a group of killer whales, he will feel uncomfortable all over. Never mind. Chen Mu was too lazy to think too much and swam his body in the direction of his memory. Suddenly, Chen Mu sensed through his conscious vision that a group of killer whales were approaching. Chen Mu, who was once a killer whale, knew that there were many groups of killer whales gathered nearby. As a blue whale calf, I am one of the foods on the menu of the killer whales. Chen Mu's body turned into a killer whale, swimming his body and walking in one direction. Chen Mu, who turned into a killer whale, has the same body shape and is still 7 meters long. He looks like an adult male killer whale. Chen Mu can see the killer whales through his conscious vision. The killer whales in the killer whale group that were rushing here slowed down. Then they all looked confused, as if they were stunned and puzzled. Killer whales use echolocation, which is a sonar system. Through the sonar system, they can judge that there was a blue whale here just now, so they rushed here, and the blue whale disappeared in an instant. This made them very confused. They do not have Chen Mu's conscious vision, so naturally they don't know what is going on. The killer whales continued to rush here after being confused. Not long after, Chen Mu met the killer whale group. "Hi, it's you. We meet again." One of the killer whales in the killer whale group swam out, rubbed Chen Mu's body, expressed affection, and then spoke to greet Chen Mu. Chen Mu was stunned. "Who are you?" "I am one of the killer whales that was stranded before and was rescued by you." It chuckled. "I didn't expect to meet you here." Oh. It was recognized. However, this is not surprising. Killer whales have a good memory, and it has only been half a year since that incident. "Where are you going?" "I remember your killer whale group should be over there," it asked in confusion. Chen Mu said, "I have something to do." "By the way, you came here, do you know if there is a blue whale nearby?" "We used echolocation to judge that there was a blue whale calf here, but suddenly it disappeared. It's so strange." It was full of confusion. Chen Mu said, "I didn't see it. I was the only one here all the way." "Is your echolocation broken?" "Ah, is that so? Okay then." It left with a confused face. "Then we will leave first. See you next time. Remember to call me loudly if you have anything. I will be there soon." Chen Mu nodded. The other killer whales also greeted Chen Mu. "Bye. Bye." Chen Mu looked at the warm and polite killer whales and retracted his gaze. This feeling is really wonderful. Just now, these guys treated Chen Mu as food, but now when they saw Chen Mu in killer whale form, they were very enthusiastic. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 37. According to the route recorded in his memory, Chen Mu walked towards the direction where the krill gathered. He swam for about half a day. From the morning of that day to the evening of that day, Chen Mu finally saw the krill swarms. Through the conscious vision, looking down from the sea surface, the krill covered a large area of the sea, and that large area of the sea was almost entirely composed of light brown sea surface made of krill. This is Antarctic krill. Generally, there are 10,000 to 30,000 Antarctic krill in 1 cubic meter. And there is more than 1 cubic meter in front of him. Too many. So many that it is extremely shocking. This is more than any school of fish Chen Mu has seen so far. Chen Mu's swimming body is 7 meters long and weighs nearly 2 meters. He approaches the Antarctic krill in front of him. 7 meters may not sound like much, but think about it, a floor is nearly 4 meters. Chen Mu's current body is like a bus. This is already very large. He is about to get close to those Antarctic krill. Chen Mu opened his huge mouth and swallowed towards the highest place of his goal. At the moment of opening his mouth, because there was no water in his mouth, countless seawater and countless huge Antarctic krill entered Chen Mu's huge mouth along with the seawater. If it were a killer whale, it would swallow the seawater and food together, and it would probably have to spit out the food and seawater again. But the blue whale is different. The blue whale has no teeth. To be precise, its teeth have evolved into something else, which we call baleen plates. The baleen replaces the teeth of the blue whale. In layman's terms, the teeth have become something like a comb. Unlike a comb, this thing is flexible and there are many and dense ones. This comb-like thing replaces the teeth. When the blue whale swallows all the seawater and food into its huge mouth, the blue whale will use its tongue to push against its upper jaw, open its mouth slightly, use its comb-like baleen to block its mouth, and then use water pressure to push the seawater, krill and various plankton it swallowed out of its mouth. Of course, because there are comb-like baleen that replaces teeth blocking the mouth outlet, all the krill, plankton, etc. will be blocked by the baleen, and the only thing that can be discharged is seawater. In this way, all the krill and plankton will remain in the mouth. As a blue whale, Chen Mu knew how to eat after he became a blue whale. He tried the blue whale's way of eating, leaving the food in his mouth and swallowing it directly into his stomach. I can't taste anything, but I can clearly feel that my hungry stomach is filled up a little, Chen Mu muttered. Although it is a little full, it is still a little hungry. Chen Mu feels that he has been hungry since he became a blue whale. The blue whale is large in size, consumes a lot, and naturally has a large stomach, so it is easy to get hungry. This thing is simply a super big eater, Chen Mu muttered. Forget it, Chen Mu was too lazy to think about it. Looking at the extremely dense krill in front of him, Chen Mu opened his mouth again. This time, Chen Mu used the whale suction. As soon as the whale suction ability was used, when Chen Mu opened his mouth, seawater and krill poured in, and when they poured in, a powerful force pulled all the krill within 100 meters of Chen Mu's vision directly into Chen Mu's mouth. Countless krill entered Chen Mu's mouth with the seawater. As the krill increased, Chen Mu felt that there were too many. If there were more, he probably couldn't close his mouth. Chen Mu closed his mouth. Chen Mu realized that the amount he swallowed this time was a very terrifying amount. He used the water pressure to discharge the seawater and then swallowed the food. All of a sudden, Chen Mu felt that his stomach, which was originally a little hungry, suddenly felt full. This feeling is really comfortable. Chen Mu looked at the remaining krill in front of him, and he opened his mouth again. Whale suck. As soon as the whale sucking ability came out, countless krill rushed into Chen Mu's mouth frantically. Swallow. Countless krill were pulled into Chen Mu's mouth by the whale sucking ability. The krill pulled by the whale sucking did not carry seawater. But when Chen Mu opened his mouth, seawater would still enter Chen Mu's mouth. When the mouth was filled with seawater, Chen Mu had to stop whale sucking. But in this way, the krill obtained was also a terrifying astronomical number. After swallowing into the stomach, the seawater was discharged, and then through the evolutionary energy, the krill was left in the mouth, and the swallowing ability was used to swallow it and turned it into his own evolutionary energy. In this process, Chen Mu's body size was slowly getting bigger. Because Chen Mu's body size was already very large, it was not so obvious when his body size became larger. Chen Mu didn't care whether it was obvious or not. He was too small now and urgently needed to obtain evolutionary energy to increase his body size. Therefore, Chen Mu continued to use whale suction and swallowing to increase his body size. As time went by, 2 days passed. Chen Mu's body size changed from 7 meters at the beginning to a huge size of 12 meters now. This size is still a minor for a blue whale, but for a killer whale, it is far beyond the normal size of a killer whale. Swish, swish, swish. Chen Mu was swallowing krill as usual. But a voice attracted Chen Mu's attention. Chen Mu stopped swallowing and expanded his conscious vision. Through the conscious vision, Chen Mu saw a group of killer whales, roaring and swimming towards him. This is a group of killer whales consisting of 30 killer whales. Chen Mu's current location is no longer in the original sea area. In other words, the group of killer whales in front of him is not the killer whale group that Chen Mu knows, but a strange group of killer whales. And they are rushing straight towards Chen Mu. Obviously, their target is Chen Mu. Chen Mu is just a baby blue whale to the killer whales at this moment. Naturally, he is a dish on their menu. Chen Mu said, "Since you are looking for death, I will fulfill your wish." The killer whales are coming. Groups of killer whales roared and pounced on Chen Mu. Through collision, they hit Chen Mu. Some killer whales jumped up and pressed on Chen Mu's back, trying to push Chen Mu back into the sea. Blue whales are mammals and need to breathe through the blowholes on the top of their heads. If you don't go up to breathe for a long time, you will die of lack of oxygen. Just like the killer whales that Chen Mu was with hunting humpback whale calves, this group of killer whales obviously planned to drown Chen Mu in that way. The killer whales attacked Chen Mu and hit him with their huge bodies. Other killer whales swam around the periphery, waiting for the opportunity to launch the next round of attacks. Facing the siege and hunting of the killer whales, Chen Mu's body was wrapped in golden light. When the killer whales saw this, they were stunned at first and retreated one after another. A giant great white shark with a body length of 12 meters appeared in the sight of the killer whales. Looking at the killer whales, Chen Mu said, "Then let's see who is more powerful. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first." Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 38. As a great white shark, Chen Mu smiled. The killer whales were already retreating. Chen Mu moved his body, and pounced on the nearest killer whale. He opened his mouth wide and bit the killer whale directly. His teeth sank into the killer whale's flesh, and blood splashed everywhere. The other killer whales saw their companions being attacked, and immediately rushed over and attacked Chen Mu. Chen Mu swung his body hard. A piece of flesh was torn off the killer whale. The killer whale was missing a large piece of flesh and blood, and it seemed that it would not survive. Chen Mu swallowed the flesh and blood, and felt the strong bloody smell of the blood. As a great white shark, Chen Mu immediately felt his blood boiling. His ferocity was instantly ignited. Chen Mu avoided the attacks of the killer whales, and then used his powerful jaws and teeth to attack the nearest killer whale, taking a large piece of meat in one bite. He swallowed 2 pieces first, and when he felt full, he used his swallowing ability. Use the ability to devour instead of eating to obtain evolutionary energy. If the killer whale wants to attack the great white shark, it needs to use tactics to hit the great white shark, or bite it to make the great white shark turn its belly over. But the problem is that Chen Mu's speed will not give them any chance at all. Moreover, the teeth of the killer whale are not good. It is too difficult to directly bite the giant great white shark with a body length of 12 meters. Of course, if they try their best, they can also threaten Chen Mu. But Chen Mu's speed is too fast. In the eyes of Chen Mu, the giant great white shark, this group of killer whales in front of him is just a group of sheep. After a bite, and then a bite, the killer whales can only be dismantled by Chen Mu. Soon, all the killer whales became Chen Mu's evolutionary energy. After Chen Mu swallowed, his body shook and turned back into the appearance of a blue whale. At this moment, Chen Mu's body size has increased again, but the increase is not much, and the body length has increased by less than 10 centimeters. Chen Mu looked at the changes in his body length through his consciousness vision. A group of more than 30 killer whales can only grow less than 10 centimeters in length after devouring, which is too little. You have to know that there are more than 30 killer whales. Sure enough, if the blue whale wants to grow quickly, it can only follow the blue whale's diet. Krill is undoubtedly the most suitable. Scientists have found that among the blue whales currently observed, 25% of the blue whales have traces of being attacked by killer whales. The blue whale is the largest mammal in the world. Adult blue whales are almost alone in the ocean and are invincible. But through the traces of being attacked by killer whales, it can be shown that when the blue whales were young, many blue whale cubs had been attacked by killer whales. There is a sailing boat on the sea. On the sailboat, there are two humans standing, they are looking at the sea. Woo! An ethereal voice cuts through the sky, as if it will resound throughout the ocean. The ethereal and deep voice penetrates into the ears of humans. Hearing this sound, the man said, "This is the call of a blue whale, ethereal and deep, a really charming call. This is the sound of another blue whale. The sound of a blue whale is the loudest among known creatures. The sound it makes can reach 188 decibels, and its companions 160 kilometers away can clearly hear the sound of a blue whale. Blue whales are huge in size and have large vocal cords. The sounds they make are ethereal and deep, but also lonely and sad to humans." Chen Mu also heard this sound. When this sound entered Chen Mu's ears, it was a different sound. "Is there a girl nearby? Do you want to meet her and make a date?" This was the sound of a male blue whale. The corner of Chen Mu's mouth twitched. Chen Mu ignored it. At this time, another ethereal and deep, lonely and sad voice came. But this sound entered Chen Mu, and it was a different taste. "Why should I date you?" This was the sound of a female blue whale. Then came the sound of the male blue whale. The sound was so deep, so ethereal, so lonely and sad. "Sister, let me sing a song for you. If you sing well, will you make a date with me? Then it depends on your ability." Just like that, the male blue whale spoke. On the sailboat, the man heard the sound of the male blue whale. He said, the blue whale started singing. "This sound is really beautiful." The woman next to him said, "What a sad sound." The man nodded, "Yes, I really don't know why it is sad. Its song is long, ethereal, deep, and sad." Chen Mu fell into silence. Because what he heard was, "This is a simple little love song. This is the song of the blue whale courting." For Chen Mu, this is simply sound pollution. The blue whale's voice is too loud, and Chen Mu has to listen even if he doesn't want to. Of course, Chen Mu could also transform into other creatures, so that he wouldn't be able to hear them, but the problem was that if he transformed into other creatures, he wouldn't be able to use whale suction to eat. Chen Mu didn't want to give up eating just to avoid the sound of their conversation. Blue whales can sing. They change the tune of their songs every once in a while. Scientists analyzed that the reason why blue whales sing may be to seek mates. Chen Mu had a headache. He just ignored it and continued to eat. "It sounds so nice. Where are you?" "I'll be there soon." The female blue whale seemed moved. "Big brother is here." Chen Mu was speechless. This group of blue whales is too awesome. Forget it. Chen Mu continued to eat. Chen Mu suddenly had a strange idea. Scientists have studied many triploid organisms, such as bananas and oysters. These organisms will only eat and eat for their entire lives, and there is basically no possibility of reproduction. The reason why they only eat and eat is to grow meat so that foodies can eat well. Now I don't seem to be a triploid organism, but I seem to be eating and eating all the time. You can't let me reproduce with blue whales, this is too ridiculous. Chen Mu, who was once a human, said that he couldn't do it anyway. So, Chen Mu chose to be a pseudo-triploid organism. I don't know what the blue whale will become after evolution. At present, the blue whale is already the largest mammal. What can it become after further evolution? Thinking of this, Chen Mu subconsciously asked, "System, what is my current evolutionary energy progress?" The current evolutionary energy progress is 0.03%. Chen Mu fell into silence. Isn't this too exaggerated? It seems that this system intends to let him be a blue whale for a while. Depressed, but at least there is a limit. Forget it, continue eating and see what I can evolve into next time. Chen Mu sucked in countless krill into his huge mouth. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 39. The Antarctic krill that Chen Mu is devouring is a special creature. When food is scarce, they will treat each other as food. If there is little food, they will shed their shells, shrink their body size, and eat less. And this characteristic is not found in other animals. This is probably one of the reasons why Antarctic krill can have such a large number. The male Antarctic krill will attach sperm to the female's reproductive pore. When the female shrimp lays eggs, they are naturally fertilized. And the female shrimp will lay 6,000 to 10,000 eggs at a time. The fertilized eggs laid will sink. When sinking, the fertilized eggs will hatch in the process. It will hatch after sinking for 3 to 5 days. After hatching, the larvae will develop and slowly move upwards. When it approaches the 100-meter water layer, it will be a young shrimp that can actively eat. The reproduction rate of Antarctic krill and the reproduction rate of young shrimp are simply amazing. Of course, Chen Mu doesn't care about these. Anyway, I have it, so I'll eat it. Chen Mu thought while eating. Although there are a lot of krill, it's still too slow to eat them this way. Is there a faster way? Thinking of this, Chen Mu immediately thought of other whales. Although because of the characteristics of racial cannibalism, I can't eat my fellow blue whales as evolutionary energy. But I can eat other whales. Chen Mu's mind became active all of a sudden. Now my body is getting bigger and bigger, and the blue whale is the largest creature in the world. With this size, isn't it easy to eat other whales? Then how can I find other different kinds of whales? Killer whales can echolocate, but the distance is limited. Great white sharks can judge the size of the other party through electromagnetic fields, and judge whether the other party is a whale through the body size, but the problem is that the electromagnetic field of the great white shark can't accurately judge whether the other party is a blue whale. If I run over and see that it is a blue whale, wouldn't it be a headache? Blue whales can communicate over long distances, which means, I can ask other blue whales if they have seen other whales. Chen Mu's eyes lit up, yes. Chen Mu was eager to try, but he came to his senses. Subconsciously, he used his conscious vision to look at his current size. After several days of swallowing, Chen Mu's current size has reached 14 meters in length, which is almost as tall as a 5-story building if it stands up. But the adult size of blue whales is generally 22 to 30 meters long. Chen Mu is obviously still a minor. For other large whales, this size is not enough. That is to say, even if he encounters other large whales, he may not be able to deal with them because of his small size. This size, forget it, I'd better swallow krill honestly, and then roam the ocean after 20 meters, Chen Mu muttered. Then he swam his body and continued to move bricks. Hula hula. Chen Mu heard the movement. It seems like something is going into the water. Hearing this sound, Chen Mu subconsciously looked in that direction through his conscious vision. Through the vision provided by his conscious vision, Chen Mu could see that there was a piece of land 300 meters away. The land was frozen, and on the frozen shore gathered countless black and white creatures, who looked like they were wearing noble black and white dresses. Seeing those creatures, Chen Mu immediately became interested. Penguin. The creature on the shore was a penguin. The sound of going into the water that Chen Mu just heard was the sound made by penguins jumping from the shore into the sea to find food. Chen Mu was thinking, looking at the appearance of these penguins, they should be emperor penguins. Emperor penguins were in groups, and it was estimated that there were at least thousands of emperor penguins on the shore. These emperor penguins rushed into the water from the shore like dumplings. If Chen Mu was still a killer whale, these emperor penguins going into the sea like dumplings were put into a hot pot, waiting to be eaten. As a blue whale, Chen Mu did not have emperor penguins on his menu. Chen Mu was not interested in becoming a killer whale, but catching these emperor penguins one by one. After all, it was better to suck a mouthful of krill in his current blue whale state than to make such a fuss for a long time. So, Chen Mu became a bystander this time, and of course, he also swallowed krill while watching. Very leisurely. Chen Mu saw many emperor penguins running from a distance, or rather, sliding. These round creatures put their bellies on the ice and slid with the help of feathers and the smoothness of the ice. They slid a long way in a short time. When it reached the shore, it stood up, and then walked to the shore in a daze. When they saw other emperor penguins go into the water, they followed them into the water. Those emperor penguins entered the water and began to prey on the nearby Antarctic krill. There were a lot of Antarctic krill, and as a blue whale, Chen Mu was not afraid that they would eat too much. However, after these emperor penguins went down like dumplings, Chen Mu also saw a group of more than 20 killer whales swimming towards the emperor penguins. It was obvious that these killer whales were going to start hunting. During Chen Mu's days as a killer whale, he also hunted penguins. He had eaten all kinds of penguins. Emperor penguins were already on the killer whales menu, so it was normal for the killer whales to come over. It looks like some penguins are going to be in trouble, Chen Mu muttered. These emperor penguins immediately discovered the killer whales. They panicked. Many emperor penguins rushed to the shore, and the killer whales chased them frantically. The speed of emperor penguins swimming in the water is not slow, and it can even be said to be very flexible, but the killer whales still dominate the water. Most of the emperor penguins went ashore, and a small number of emperor penguins did not have time to go ashore, so they could only run around. They found a floating ice. They hurriedly climbed onto the floating ice. One of the emperor penguins ran slower, and the moment it climbed onto the floating ice, it was bitten by a killer whale and dragged into the water. After being dragged into the water, the killer whale flipped its body and threw the emperor penguin high into the air. The emperor penguin struggled in the air. Bang! Accompanied by a muffled sound, it hit the sea. The killer whale held the emperor penguin in its mouth and threw the emperor penguin into the air again. It smashed again. The emperor penguin was smashed to death, and then it slowly began to eat it. Killer whales like to throw their prey into the air, using gravity and the force of the water surface to hit their prey, knocking them unconscious or killing them. Watching this scene, Chen Mu muttered, "I learned this technique from that adult female killer whale. It's a bit troublesome, much more troublesome than a great white shark." The other killer whales were swimming next to the ice floe. A killer whale suddenly jumped out of the sea and bit the emperor penguin standing next to the ice floe. The emperor penguin was startled and hurriedly avoided it and walked to the center of the ice floe. The killer whale didn't bite it and dived into the water again. 6 killer whales surrounded the emperor penguins. The emperor penguins on the ice were trembling and a little panicked. Become a sea squirt larva and eat a brain first. Author, Chen Wunian. Chapter 40. 6 killer whales swam around the 5 emperor penguins on the ice floe. At this time, they realized that they could not bite the emperor penguins. The killer whales gathered together again. They swam from a distance, emerged from the sea, and dived down. As they swam, the waves they generated suddenly hit the ice floe in front of them. The ice floe was swaying with the waves. The emperor penguins hurriedly retreated, fearing that they would be swept into the sea by the waves. The killer whales exposed their heads and looked at the emperor penguins still on the ice floe. They gathered together again. They created waves again. The fluctuations of the ice floe became larger. One of the emperor penguins was unstable and fell off the ice floe. A killer whale was ready, and when he saw the emperor penguin fall, he immediately bit it. Just like before, he threw the emperor penguin high up and killed it. Blood was dripping. The killer whale enjoyed the delicious emperor penguin. The other killer whales created waves again. The waves slammed against the floating ice. The floating ice, which was not very thick to begin with, fell apart in an instant. All the emperor penguins on it fell into the sea, and the killer whales pounced directly on it. They divided up and ate the remaining emperor penguins. The other killer whales had also finished their hunt and were full. Chen Mu saw the killer whales shaking their huge tails and slowly leaving. Only the emperor penguins on the shore were left, shivering. Seeing this, Chen Mu's eyebrows relaxed slightly. Although many emperor penguins became food for the killer whales, the dead emperor penguins also successfully filled the stomachs of the killer whales. When the other emperor penguins went down to hunt, there would be no killer whales coming, and the danger would not be great. Emperor penguins have many natural enemies. Killer whales, leopard seals, etc. are all natural enemies of emperor penguins. It's not easy for this thing to survive, Chen Mu muttered in his heart, opened his big mouth, and swallowed countless krill in one mouthful to fill his stomach. At present, Chen Mu's body is already very huge. The killer whale gradually lost interest in Chen Mu. Of course, if it is interested in Chen Mu doesn't mind adding another killer whale meal. Although the blue whale belongs to the genus of baleen whales, it has no teeth and can only eat small fish, shrimps, and plankton, but Chen Mu's swallowing ability is not a decoration. As time goes by, Chen Mu's body gradually grows, and soon his body length reaches 20 meters, and his body becomes extremely huge. If the 20-meter body stands up, it is 6 stories high. Add the width of the blue whale. At this moment, Chen Mu is already a super large behemoth, an absolutely super beast. It's time. Chen Mu is tired of swallowing krill, and he wants to change his appetite. He made a sound. The voice of the blue whale sounded. The voice was long, ethereal, and sad. Of course, the translated voice was, "Friends nearby, have you seen other whales passing by?" At this time, a voice came from afar. "Yesterday I saw a group of humpback whales passing by nearby." It was the voice of a female blue whale. Chen Mu heard it. He was immediately excited. A group of humpback whales. Even if the humpback whale is an adult, its body length is generally not more than 15 meters. Its size is much different from that of Chen Mu, a blue whale. This is perfect. If you can encounter a group of humpback whales and directly start the devouring mode, it will be so comfortable. He said, "Where are you?" Here its voice came. Chen Mu used sonar positioning to determine the location of the blue whale that was talking to him. He flapped the huge tail fin behind him and twisted his body to swim in the direction of the blue whale. Although they can communicate with each other, even if they can communicate, the distance between them is very far. Chen Mu swam for 2 hours before he swam to the location of the blue whale. This is a female adult blue whale. This female adult blue whale is very large, even larger than Chen Mu. Below this blue whale, there is a blue whale calf that is only 8 meters long. It is looking at Chen Mu curiously. Chen Mu looked at the adult blue whale and said, "Where did you see those humpback whales?" "Over there." The female adult blue whale looked in one direction. Chen Mu nodded slightly, and he subconsciously glanced at the blue whale calf. This is the first time Chen Mu has seen a blue whale calf. The ones that followed the killer whale group to hunt before were all humpback whale calves. Blue whales are rare. When a blue whale calf is just born, it cannot eat by itself, and it cannot even suckle by itself, because the blue whale calf has no movable lips. It will follow the mother below when it is hungry. Then the adult female blue whale will take the initiative to use muscle contraction to squeeze milk for the blue whale calf. Chen Mu retracted his gaze, swam in the direction the female blue whale said, and swam away. When he was a distance away, Chen Mu turned from a blue whale into a giant great white shark with a body length of 20 meters. Through the giant great white shark's sensitivity to electromagnetic fields, he can capture creatures moving in all directions. The great white shark's inductance can only determine the opponent's position, number, and approximate size, but it can't determine what the opponent is, nor can it accurately determine the opponent's size. But now it's different. Because of the information provided by the blue whale, it can be determined that there is a group of humpback whales in the direction ahead. Then as long as the electromagnetic sense of the great white shark is used to capture, as long as it is determined that there is a certain number and a certain size, then it is undoubtedly a group of humpback whales. Soon, Chen Mu captured the location of the humpback whale group through the great white shark's inductance. Chen Mu swam his huge body and approached the humpback whale group. Coincidentally, when Chen Mu passed by, there was a great white shark next to him. The great white shark was so shocked that it forgot to move when it saw its fellow creature that was as huge as a blue whale. Is this also my fellow creature? So big. It was a little unbelievable. Soon, Chen Mu saw the group of humpback whales through his conscious vision. Although the humpback whale is also a whale, it is different from the blue whale. Blue whales are used to being alone, and the most common is a group of 3 whales with parents and children. But humpback whales are used to living in groups, and there must be at least 2 whale groups with mothers and children. Chen Mu looked at the group of humpback whales in front of him, which consisted of 16 humpback whales. His eyes lit up. There were a total of 16 humpback whales, 13 of which were adult humpback whales and 3 were humpback whale calves. When the group of humpback whales noticed that a huge great white shark was approaching, the 16 humpback whales suddenly became extremely nervous, and they swam forward faster. They wanted to get rid of Chen Mu. They had never seen such a huge great white shark, but they knew very well that this great white shark was a predator. A great white shark of this size could pose a threat to them. So, they wanted to run.